Fallout 4 is almost 9 years old, and over the years this game got thousands and 10,000s of mods. So obviously it's very hard to say which ones of those are the absolute best, but we still are going to try. For this video I selected one mod from each category that impressed me the most, sometimes more than one. Of course all that based purely on my own opinion and taste. This is also not a ranked list, and the order in which I will be presenting the mods does not mean anything. Also, I should add that I have not tried literally every mod out there and might have missed something. So make sure to let me know if you agree with my picks or not, and what mods are your absolute favorite. Okay, we are starting with the best Pip-Boy mod. In my opinion, it's the Tactical Tablet, a mod that actually completely removes the classic Pip-Boy from your wrist and adds this somewhat more sci-fi looking tabletic device machine. For some reason this mod has been deleted from the Nexus. Funnily enough, it is still available on Bethesda.net as an Xbox One mod. However, if you want to get it on PC, you have to go to a certain other website. So this mod works like any other replacer, except that it removes the base Pip-Boy from your wrist and that way allows you to see your outfits without any restrictions. The Pip-Boy has always been one of Fallout's biggest trademarks, but sometimes we want to wear our outfits without that massive thing in the way. It is very similar to the mod Pip-Pad, by the way, except that the design of the Pip-Pad wasn't really appealing to me. In my opinion, it looks like it could totally be one of Nintendo's handhelds, but the design of the tablet, that looks much better in my opinion, and it just fits more to an Enclave or Institute tech using character. Of course it can do everything a regular Pip-Boy can, with fitting animations and all that. Definitely the best looking Pip-Boy alternative in my opinion. Best Weapon Mod. Okay, this is more like a philosophical question, because seriously, the weapon mod section is definitely the biggest and holds the most mods. Selecting the best mod is pretty much impossible, because it's a matter of taste and personal preference. That's the beautiful thing about modding. If you have an all-time favorite weapon, you can pretty much just look it up on the Nexus or somewhere else, and most likely there will be a mod of it. So for me, for example, my favorite real-life weapon is the P90. Ever since the good old days when I was still watching Stargate every Wednesday on TV, this weapon really grew on me and became my favorite.
This is a weapon of war. It's made to kill your enemy.
The P90 is of course quite a famous weapon and appeared in many games from very early on, like for example Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. Something about its unique design, the low weight and also the special ammo type just really makes it a one-of-a-kind gun in my opinion. The way you can technically casually wield it with only one hand, it's just an absolute badassness factor as well. So this is also why I ended up using it as my main weapon here in Fallout 4 too. But that's just my personal favorite. If I had to select one weapon mod that really stands out, I would probably go for the Archimedes-II. A very cool weapon that does not only look cool, but is also inspired by the Archimedes gun from Fallout New Vegas. It is similar in function, but actually has 3 different firing modes here. The constant solar energy beam that you can shoot without interruptions, but with pretty limited range, the super powerful charged and concentrated single shot that will obliterate pretty much anything, and the third function that will most definitely obliterate anything, calling down a powerful shot from an orbital laser. And I chose it for 3 reasons. It's a very unique weapon, I love the concept of orbital cannons since Command & Conquer, and it's an absolute blast to use, literally. This weapon will definitely blast away everything you use it against, unless you are underground or something. Then, yeah, you get the idea. Best Explosives Mod. Well, technically grenades and stuff are also weapons, but somehow I thought it would be best if this was a separate category. So, the most interesting explosives mod is, in my opinion, auto mines. Intelligent mines that will actively respond to nearby enemies. Those little fellows literally defend their owner, stand up and rush at anything that means you harm. They come in many different flavors, just like regular grenades, and they actually also follow you like pets. It's really cute. Every self-aware adventurer should have a couple of those. Sorry dog meat, but times have changed. Everybody knows, the post-apocalyptic man's best friends are auto mines. Best vehicle mod. There are certainly a lot of vehicle mods out there, mods that add all kinds of drivable things, from bikes to boats, but mods from a certain modder have made the most impact. Yes, a very short name for a very great modder, and some of the vehicles they brought to us do not only look lore-friendly, super cool, and offer some impressive customization, but also have something no other modder was able to achieve, actually spinning wheels. That's right, most vehicle mods out there have just static wheels, which of course is insanely immersion breaking. And was the first and for a while the only modder who actually gave us vehicles with actually correctly working wheels. That alone is already groundbreaking. After that, other modders adapted to this concept and were able to make vehicles with spinning wheels and other crazy things. Really crazy things, like putting Mama Murphy on wheels, for example. Yeah, this is some Mad Max shit right there. But yes, was the modder who definitely revolutionized the vehicle mod genre. Not only with spinning wheels, but also with some really nice concepts. The design of the models in his mods was always high quality. His mods actually also managed to be very lore-friendly despite being a lot of fun. And not just the vehicle mods, by the way. Well, okay, let's say for the most part, some of his other mods can be a little, yeah, let's not talk about that. Best Robots Mod. I was not sure how to categorize this. On one hand, those are actually also kinda vehicles, on the other hand, there are also robots in this mod. Besides, not including this mod into the list would have been an absolute crime. RidableBot is a mod that adds huge, fully functional mechas to the game. Both you and your enemies will be able to make good use of those war machines and bring the combat to a whole new level. In combat you can strategically target the pilots and then take over the mecha to dominate the battlefield. Yes, lots of fun. You just need to equip a pilot ring to be able to ride those mechas. You can also give a co-pilot or passenger ring to your followers and then send them to the mecha. Depending on the mecha type, they will be able to ride alongside you in different spots. Of course, you can also build your own mechas, just like regular automatons, and then customize them in different ways using the automaton station. Here you can of course use all the vanilla and of course modded parts and weapons too, to change your mecha's looks and properties. And also choose a skeleton to determine how your mecha will move. So in other words, this mod pretty much turns Fallout into a Gundam game. Or maybe more like Lost Planet. Fallout Planet 4 Extreme Condition, ladies and gentlemen. Best Follower Mod. Now this one definitely goes to Kit from the Machine and Her mod. This mod itself is already very interesting on its own. It's a DLC-sized mod with a total of 6,000 lines of dialogue.
Hello, Boston. It's me, Agnes, your new pal with a friendly ear and a golden voice.
This new radio station is also a highlight of this mod, because it introduces 50 new tracks and a DJ managing it. But the main spotlight of course goes to Kit herself and her storyline.
We're gonna want to turn around very, very slowly. My problem is the nosy waster poking around in my stuff.
What makes Kit so unique is her truly unique affinity system. It is way more complex and advanced than the two-dimensional vanilla characters you meet in this game have. Kit's affinity system is custom built and will change her character according to the decisions you make during her storyline, but also throughout the vanilla game. Your interactions with vanilla characters, your choices in the vanilla quest lines, all that will have an influence how Kit will develop. In addition to that, Kit's affinity system is not a linear progression that consists of like, dislike, love or hate responses. In other words, either positive or negative reactions to the things you do, but instead moves along an X and Y axis featuring two values, cynicism and trust. The trust value will rise and fall as you travel with her and get to know her better by talking to her frequently, depending what decisions you make specifically in her questline and also in vanilla quests, and the cynicism may rise and fall depending, for example, whether you encourage her to make dark and violent decisions, or instead encourage her to leave her past behind and become a better person. All that will influence and change her dialogue and may result in a different ending of her questline as well. And the most interesting part about this is that, unlike in many games that show you what you are doing or have done with certain dialogue options, here there are no visual indicators, and you will never know in which direction your choices moved her affinity. You will only be able to guess and see what happens in the end. And this is why this follower is so unique and clearly stands above the other companion mods. A great storyline, uncertainty and unpredictability of the outcome makes Kit seem way more like a real person than just another simply programmed NPC. That alone earns her the title of the best follower mod.
Best Settlement Mod.
There are many settlement-related mods out there, and most of them add all kinds of new assets, like showers and toilets, for example, because the vanilla game doesn't have something like that. But there is one settlement-related mod that really sticks out with its uniqueness. Well, it's two mods technically, Workshop Framework and Workshop Plus. Workshop Framework is a framework mod that completely rewrites many vanilla workshop scripts to make the whole process faster and more stable. It of course adds many new possibilities that are technically not possible in the vanilla settlement system. The framework on its own also has some interesting features that can be enabled in the MCM menu, like for example allowing linked settlements to share food, or remove robots from the population count, or adjust robot happiness since it's locked at 50 in the vanilla game and will drag down the overall settlement happiness value. But all that are just minor quality of life features. It becomes really impressive if you use this framework with the addition of the Workshop Plus mod. It's kind of a plug-in for this framework and allows you to build settlements way more efficient and convenient than anything you have experienced in the vanilla system, by far. The navigation in build mode becomes much better. You will be able to move faster, move three-dimensionally, ignore the weight you are carrying, make your character invisible, and even completely stop time, as much as you want, even longer than 9 seconds. There are also other hotkeys for functions that will be very familiar. For example, the undo or redo function, or the copy and paste function. You can use those on all the objects and even scrap models. Then there is also the a bit more advanced function of using different layers while building. It's all pretty much like in a photo editing program. You use a hotkey to create a new layer, then another hotkey to switch between layers. You can also hide the layers with a hotkey, or you can highlight all objects belonging to a layer to give you more overview of the whole situation. So, needless to say, all those features will give you more control over the whole building procedure. That makes those two mods pretty much essential for a good settlement building experience.
Best Gameplay Mod.
This is also a category where it's really hard to select one single mod, because gameplay can go in so many different directions. But if I had to select only one, it should probably go to Crime and Punishment. This mod adds a lot of new gameplay features and is definitely a must-have if you want to start a new playthrough. So just to name a few of the features this mod brings, there is for example the Karma and Crime system. You have to activate it first in the MCM menu. This is basically a value of your reputation in the game world. It is similar to how it was in previous Fallout games. If you do good deeds like helping citizens, giving them supplies, rescuing hostages and so on, your social reputation will rank up. However, this is only a part of the system. The second part is the crime value. If you do bad things like stealing, assaulting people and so on, your crime value will rise. It will also affect your social value, but it's actually two different stats. And then there is also a third part called Karma Polarity. Basically, you can determine whether actions will have a positive or negative effect on your karma. This also influences your social value. So all this sounds a bit complicated, however it becomes way more clear if you try to customize it through the MCM menu. To name some more showable features, this mod also gives you the ability to surrender, both you to the authorities, which will get you in prison, or the NPCs. For example, you can make enemies surrender, or just hold up random NPCs at gunpoint to steal their stuff. There is also a disguise system that allows you to, for example, move freely in gunner territories if you equip the gear. There is also a settlement system where settlers naturally reproduce by having children. You can also send captured enemies to settlements and turn them into settlers. There is also a bounty system where you can do random quests like take out or capture raider bosses, and much more. This mod is really bursting with features and also has a lot of sub-mods you can add to customize and expand it. So I guess this is definitely enough to earn the title of the best gameplay mod.
Best Creature Mod.
This one is easy. If I had to pick one creature mod, I would definitely go for the Mutant Menagerie series, which is actually several mods again, but they are all definitely absolutely worth it. If you count all the creatures from those mods, it definitely comes to the biggest creature addition in the modding history for this game. Big Game Hunter for the base game, Horrors of the Deep Fog that adds creatures to Far Harbor, Nuclear Safari, bringing exotic creatures to Nuka World, Backwater Beasts that populates the animal world of the Point Lookout DLC, and finally the Life Finds a Way mod, which combines the creatures from the other mods and adds a lot of more features to the plate. So if you want the ultimate experience, you should just download this 5.4 GB monstrosity, pun intended, ram it into your game and have fun. This mod adds all the creatures, which are, by the way, also absolutely lore-friendly and will fit into the game, with a proper integration into leveled lists, with legendary variants, also includes new drops and. This mod also adds a lot of new recipes you will be able to craft with the new ingredients, and also some new perks. The recipes also include different kinds of things, not just foods but also special hunting weapons, for example, that will make your hunt for the wild beasts easier, and of course also more immersive. To craft the recipes and items you will need to unlock the perks first. So in other words, this mod also adds a lot of nice RPG elements to the equation. This mod also expands the vanilla workshop a little bit by adding new cages and gives you the possibility to capture almost all the new creatures. Open your own post-apocalyptic zoo and bring joy to everyone in the wasteland, or make an arena where you feed your naughty settlers to ferocious critters. So many possibilities!
Best Quest Mod.
From all the quest mods that I played, one particularly stood out, the train. Simply because of this absolutely crazy concept. The whole quest takes place on a moving train, introduced by a very cool opening cutscene as well.
Asshole. I should shoot you myself, increase my share by a little bit more.
Hey, quit kidding around.
I'm pretty sure if you tell about this to the folks over at Bethesda, they will say something like this is not possible in this game's engine, and yet here we are. This is one of those quests where you get knocked out cold in the beginning and lose all your gear. You then have to fight your way to the front of the train, car by car. And that includes facing all kinds of natural hazards, you know, like raiders, cat claws, the usual stuff. It will certainly be enough for you to go full Samuel Jackson and say, I'm tired of this motherfucking whatever on this motherfucking train. But no, with natural hazards I of course meant some platforming sections. If you fall, for real. So saving a lot is obviously a must. The adventure also gets more and more crazy as you progress. I really don't want to spoil too much. This is just what makes this mod so unique. It just shows that modders really know what can be actually done in this game's engine. You just need to be creative. In the end, one of the rewards of this mod is actually a settlement you get to build. Also completely on a moving train, just to blow your minds even further. And another quest mod that really needs mentioning is Fallout Brotherhood, a storyteller quest mod. This mod is actually more like an interactive movie that follows the story of Roger Maxson, the founder of the Brotherhood of Steel. But what makes this mod absolutely unique is that Roger Maxson is voiced by none other than Mark Meer, the voice of Commander Shepard from the Mass Effect series.
Decorum, Sergeant. These prisoners are under our protection. Besides, Alan, you might have gone AWOL too without that tin can to protect.
It's unbelievable that they were able to get him on board for this. Needless to say, this makes playing through this quest mod at least 10 times more fun. It's also absolutely fitting for Roger Maxson. And the questline itself is of course a real treat if you want to know more about the lore of the Brotherhood of Steel. Anyway, this is all I have for you this time. The links to all mods are of course in the description below. Don't forget to let me know if you agree with my picks and what your all-time favorite mods are. Also make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already for more future videos. I thank you all for watching and see you around.